Initially, we wanted to name this episode Just Sleep because when the inspiration came, I was reflecting on how many times I have been saved from making a not so wise decision or choice by just calming down and breathing. And most times, taking a nap to pacify my racing mind. Talking about racing, after years of driving and getting quite familiar with the German highways, my test for the need of speed increased. A lot of times, all things equal, I'm always looking forward to the next road trip and the opportunity to drive a fast car. Comparing this to the thoughts and emotions and feelings that we experience every day, sometimes it can be very overwhelming when we constantly have the feeling that our head, our mind, our heart are overspeeding. It is quite enjoyable when we are running at a very fast speed of, for example, 220 kilometers per hour in our Mercedes Benz, but it could feel like our head is about to explode, our heart is about to move out of our body when thoughts, emotions, feelings are running at the same speed. But what do you do? It is very easy to just say, bro, sis, calm down. But what do I have to do to calm down? From various conversations with friends and with guests on this podcast, I have learned that speaking up and seeking for help goes a very long way. Getting help from a trusted community, getting help from those reliable friends of yours, getting help from a mentor, from certified therapists or coaches could help in controlling the condition that is apparently very common. Open up. Let's get to the bottom, to the root cause of the flooding emotions and thoughts, and let us find out how we could manage and how we could deal with the feelings. So, I visited a friend some time ago. We were sitting in a dining room. She shared a story of ours and how a therapist talked about emotional control. I thought about this and I felt that this could be very useful or very helpful on our personal development journey. Name the emotions, validate the emotions, identify the triggers, practice meditation or mindfulness. Don't be shy. Talk through emotions, journal, notice when you need a break, have a good sleep hygiene, consider therapy. This is a list I made, and I thought to myself, wow, there's a lot of things I have to learn, to improve my own personal development, also my mental health, and also my psychology. Will you say psychology? Maybe, or just to improve my mental health, basically. Like naming the emotion I'm feeling at the moment, validating it that yes, it truly exists, identifying it, giving it that label actually removes a lot of power from the emotion when you think about it. Identifying what the triggers could be. That way, in the future, I could avoid them if I don't want to feel those emotions or feel those feelings. Practicing meditation or mindfulness. This has really helped me a lot in the past and also in the future. Also in the future, sorry. And also currently in the present, waking up and just calming down by doing a devotion, reading, meditating, praying helps me to start my day with the right mindset. Don't be shy. Talk through emotions. Oof, this is a very, very big one for me because I am very shy and I don't talk through emotions. But it's something I'm learning and it's something I'm working on. Speaking with friends, them asking you how you're doing and opening up, truly opening up to tell them, I'm fine. Yes, it's a blessing to be fine. It's a privilege to always be fine. But I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And yeah, that's just how it is. I'm just leaving it on the table. Like I said earlier, doing this with a trusted community or with reliable friends could go a long way. Journaling is something I've learned a lot from friends on this podcast and guests on this podcast, but it's something I've been struggling with. I have a lot of journals that I've started in the past, but left them halfway somewhere. But it's something that really helps. The few times I've really journaled, I've really felt relieved and I was able to process my thoughts. Like putting that pen on paper, writing things down, helps me to process and see things in a different light or different perspective. And I'm able to even let go or process some things faster. That really helps. That's something I'll pick up again. And that's something that we integrated in our new book also, Confessions. Like at the end of each chapter, I believe you have like the opportunity to journal. You have like some pages, lined pages that you could write your thoughts into. That means you could read something about the story or in the story, and it could trigger a feeling in you. It could remind you of something. It could strike a nerve. It could annoy you in some ways. That's the sign. Put pen on paper in the book, write it down. And you could share with us also. Maybe we could discuss this, go even deep down into this, and who knows, you could be helping someone else on his or her own journey. Having a good sleep hygiene is something I'm working on also. I don't know. People say you sleep for 8 hours. I say you sleep for the amount of hours that is enough for you. I use nowadays a app to track my sleep hygiene, and it's telling me it's very bad. So I have to really work on that. And yeah, having the optimal sleep behavior habits could be very helpful to form your day, to make your day a good day or a not very good day. Taking break when needed is important. I, for one, enjoy taking power naps. My days are mostly always, you know, tightly packed. I would say a lot of the days are tightly packed, and I have to move from one activity to the next one to the next one to the next one, and I find time in between to take power naps. That's my form of break, or going for a walk. Yeah. Now that it's winter or dark outside or dark early, I tend to take power naps more than going for walks. But going out for walks really helps. Like, there's a lot of things I've done or achieved by going for walks, by taking those breaks, those intentional breaks in between different activities. Like, it helps me process my thoughts, gives me ideas, and I get back from the walk and I write them down. I'm like, wow, amazing. I'm impressed. So that could be something that could be helpful for you too. Taking power naps also really helps. I feel like I start like I have a second morning basically. I have a second start of the day when I take a power nap, and I'm able to wake up refreshed, and I'm able to take up the task for the rest of the day till I go to bed again. Then consider therapy. I know I've made silly jokes in the past when my black friends, for example, I was speaking to a very good friend of mine in Indianapolis, and she was telling me about therapy. A lot of my black friends talk about, considering a therapist or going for therapy. In the past, I always laugh at it because, we all have this mindset that, believe basically that black people don't need therapy and therapy does not really help or something like that, something in that line. But deep down, I truly respect and support this decision. It's something that I always play with also the thought of, going for a therapy session. It's something I think of from time to time. I believe it could be helpful to speak with a specialized individual. It's also in the book too. The main character in the book went for therapy because I believe it's something that really helps. It really helps. What's your therapy? Is it speaking with people? Is it kind of some activities? It's actually going to a professional to discuss. I think different things could be your therapy. Yeah. I believe therapy is very important, but I know that deep down inside also of me, as from my own um point of view, my own perspective, my upbringing, I believe deep down inside of us is this seed and connection to our Creator. So I believe that we should always pray and also talk to God. Like, you could talk to a professional, but I also believe we have a friend, a Creator, a no, a how do I say it, a man, not a man, a being that knows it all, that can answer our questions, that wants to be our friend. So you could find that time to just sit and talk to God. We've had episodes on this podcast where people talk about centering prayer, and they just sit in silence and meditate and speak with God. And that way they're able to get answers to questions that they've been asking themselves for a long time. That's something that you could try out too. That's something that could help you to align your heart and your mind and your soul and your body back together. And before you know it, you're back on track. So it goes a very long way, but seeking qualified help does a lot of good too. Numbing is never the solution. Sometimes I think I walk too hard and I work too much and I commit myself to too much projects and tasks at the same time, or sometimes I just satisfy my need for speed, at least just to be able to distract myself from my problems. And I always, I always have this hope that my problems will vanish or solve themselves, at this time in which I am distracting myself. But in most of the cases, those problems, those challenges, they will sit on ice stools in the front row and they'll wait for you to come back. They were like, Toby, when you are done distracting yourself, when you've done all the projects in the world, when you've solved all the tasks that you want to solve, you will come back and meet us here, right here. So why don't you just face them head front and save yourself some time? Like your friend just told me some minutes before recording this podcast. Like he just said, yeah, you could be holding someone down and you could be holding yourself down if you don't face the challenges or face the problems heads on and seek for the help that you need at that moment. So what are your challenges? No matter how big, small, medium size that you think they are, remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to love yourself. You might not get it the first time. You might not get it the first 100 times. That's fine. That's okay. Do not be too hard on yourself. Just remember that you are loved. Just learn from the mistakes. Learn from the relapse. You don't have to have it all figured out all the time. Just keep trying. Don't give up. Take those intentional baby steps and just keep breathing. I really appreciate you listening to this episode. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. The book Confessions will be released on the 1st of November. It's going to launch on the 1st of November. It's already available on various platforms, on Amazon, on Tradition, on Lulu, on Okada Books. A lot of platforms are picking it up. I even found it on Goodreads also. So you can pick up your copy. It's already available for pre-order. So if you are into pre-ordering, get your copy right now before it sells out. And one more time, remember that this episode is brought to you by Riverside.fm. Riverside enables you to have this kind of recordings, this kind of conversations in high quality, in studio quality. Video is on flick. Wow, is on flick still something? Is on flick still on flick? I don't know. But while thinking about that, remember that I love you, I see you, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.